So where did you grow up exactly?
West Philadelphia.
Okay. And at what point did you start boxing?
When I was 7.
7 years old?
Yeah.
Okay. So was this something your dad helped you with? Or?
My uncle and my big brother.
Okay. So they started you boxing real early?
Yes.
And did you feel like you had like a natural kind of skill early on?
It was in me. From every picture I took when I was young, I always had my hands up.
Right.
In the fight position, so you know.
Okay. A lot of fist fights in school and stuff like that? None?
Never.
They didn't want it with you, huh?
I never had one.
Okay. So you started boxing at 7. Like, at what point did you actually start competing?
I turned pro in '99.
Okay. So you were doing like Golden Gloves before that, like as a
I won
teenager?
Golden Gloves twice.
Okay. So you were doing your thing?
Yes.
Okay. And then when you were 19, you turned pro?
Yeah, as an amateur, I was number 10 in the world, in the country, you know.
Okay. And then you turned pro?
Turned pro.
And then how was your pro career? You know,
My pro record, 32 wins, 7 losses, 2 draws, 18 KOs.
Okay, you're knocking people out.
Yes, you know.
All right. So your pro career was going for how long? How many years did you actually fight pro?
About, what, 15.
15 years?
15 and a half, yeah.
15 and a half years. And what was the highest you ever got in your pro career?
I was number 1 in the world twice.
Really?
I was United States champion 3 times. I was North American champion twice.
Okay.
State champion once.
And what weight class?
Light heavyweight and super middleweight.
Okay. Who are some of like the bigger names?
Bernard Hopkins.
Okay, you fought him?
No.
No.
That's like one of my idols from Philadelphia.
So you didn't want to fight him?
I would have loved it for him, but you know.
I've interviewed Bernard Hopkins actually. I went to his house in Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, real good dude.
Yeah, very good dude.
Okay. Who else was in your weight categories during that time?
Chad Dawson, you know. A couple of Roy Jones.
Roy Jones?
Yes.
You ever fought him?
I would love to fight him.
Okay. Roy Jones at his height was
incredible. Yeah, he was a man.
You know,
one of my idols.
Yeah. I never seen, like, there were some fights I seen, I never seen someone get hit so many times.
So fast.
Like, you know, a 30 punch combination, like, insane. Like, who are some of the biggest fighters you actually fought?
Tavares Cloud, Glenn Johnson. I fought most everybody I fought was the top. I lost to all top fighters.
Okay.
Like, most of my losses come from fighting for a world title.
Okay.
Carl Frock from London. I fought the best at light heavyweight, most of them, you know.
Sure. At what point did you feel like your boxing career was coming to a close?
I think like my 3rd loss. I feel though I ain't had the fire no more. I ain't want it no more.
I mean, boxing is a tough field to be in.
It was like I started doing it just for the money. Like,
you don't have the love for it anymore.
Win or lose, it doesn't matter. I still get paid, you know.
Yeah. Did you ever, you know, I know that there is, in boxing, sometimes you have certain fighters that are ranked that they put against other upcoming fighters to help pad their.
Like, I was number 2 in the world. I was scheduled to fight Jean Pascal, but they made me fight Glenn Johnson. I didn't have to fight him. They told me if I didn't fight Glenn Johnson, they were gonna shelf me. So I wanted to fight him, and I didn't want to fight him.
Yeah.
For $4,500.
$4,500.
Yes.
Okay. So at one point you were like, okay, this boxing thing is coming to a close.
I ain't hungry for it no more.
Okay. And when did you officially retire at some point?
No, it's like I retired my last fight. I was like, I don't want it no more.
Okay. And when was that?
What? It was about a year and a half ago.
Okay, so 2014?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, I ain't hungry for it no more. I don't want to get hurt.
Okay. So 2014, you felt that you was gonna walk away before, you know, because you see, you know, certain fighters.
It's messing with my speech, you know.
Really? So your speech, you think, is from the boxing,
yes,
getting hit in the head?
It is. I know it is.
Okay. So when you first started boxing,
I was regular. All I did was laugh, joke, you know.
Sure. You had a lot of concussions?
No, I think I got one now though. I get bad headaches every now and then.
Okay. You have 10 kids?
Yes.
How old is the oldest?
23.
23. So you're how old now?
35.
35. So you were having kids
14.
At 14?
Yes.
Okay. Pretty young.
Yeah.
Pretty young. Your kids, how many different mothers do your kids have?
6.
Okay, so certain women you actually had multiple kids with.
Yeah, my wife, my ex-wife.
Your ex-wife.
Got 4.
Okay. When did you get married?
I got married when I was 20.
Okay, pretty young.
I wasn't ready, you know.
Yeah, most people aren't at 20. Was this the same one that you had your first kid with?
I know.
Okay. So you got married when you were 20.
Yeah.
And you got divorced when you were?
I got divorced, 2 years later.
Okay, pretty
We
quick.
was together for like 14 years though.
Okay. So you have 10 kids, you're divorced, and then late last year, you're suddenly back in the news again.
Yes.
Okay. So you ended up doing a gay porn tape.
Yes.
Why did you do the tape?
I was in need of the money.
Okay. And how much did they pay you to do it?
$2,500.
$2,500.
Yes.
Okay. Had you ever considered doing something like that before?
No.
Did they approach you about it?
Somebody inboxed me on Facebook, and I'd do it.
So someone just hit you, just
They
DM'd
weren't
you?
my friends, just DM me. Asked me if I'm willing to make smack some money. I said yes. You know.
He said, I know this
A
company.
year later, porn come out.
Okay, so this is Road Dog Entertainment?
Dog Pound.
Dog Pound, sorry. Dog Pound Entertainment. So they approached you, paid you the money.
Yeah.
Did you have any idea that anyone would see this?
No. That's why I was like, I did it in New York. I had no, like, I did that. It would be in Philly a year later, but, you know.
Okay. So you go and do the tape. A year later, the tape comes out. But, you know, when it comes to gay porn, like most straight people, really, it's not on their radar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it comes out, but most people around you have no idea that it came out. Even porn in general, you know, a lot of people.
To this day, I haven't watched it.
Okay. So I understand that there was a family gathering of some sort with that you were at, that they confronted you with the tape, or what exactly
No, my
happened?
friends. I was in a family's bar, and my friends. I wonder why everybody looking at me strange, but not saying nothing, not speaking to me. I'm like, what's going on? Then one of my homies was like, come here, man. You know, look at this. I'm like, wow. He was like, you did it? I said, yeah, I did it. That was it. And I walked away and went home and just was crying.
You started crying afterwards.
Yeah.
Why did you start crying?
Just started thinking about my children. Like, what would they think? See my dad, our hero. Like,
Okay. So your friend showed you the tape in the car.
Yeah.
I mean, at the bar.
yeah.
You go home, you cry about what happened, and then it hits the media.
Yeah. And I'm back in the media. Not on boxing, but for something else.
Okay.
Now I got another fight.
Now you got to fight with the media.
Yes.
So the media talks about, basically said that, boxer Yusaf Mack was in a gay porn tape. And your response was that you were drugged.
Yeah. I was thinking about my children, man. Like, well, I got to make something up. What I'm going to do. I was drugged. At the end of the day, until they love me, regardless of what it is. Like, my family love me.
So this idea of you were drugged, like, were there different ideas that you were, that you were coming up with?
That was the first thing that came to my mind. I was drugged.
You were drugged. Okay. But then the porn company came back and said, because that's a pretty serious allegation for a company.
Yeah.
Regardless of what the company does, if you're out drugging people, that's prison time and so forth. So they fired back and said, that's not true. He wasn't drugged. He was paid. You probably signed.
I stopped reading it. Like, I never signed nothing though.
Oh, you never signed nothing?
I never signed nothing.
See, that's weird because I thought the signatures were required.
I never got a check. They gave me money.
Just give you cash.
Cash, yeah. I never signed
it was just
nothing.
like a little hood kind of
It
production.
was street cash. No money, no check enough.
But the porn company did fire back and said that you weren't drugged.
Yes.
Okay. So now you have your word versus their word.
Yes.
At what point did you say, all right, I'm just going to keep it 100?
When I talked to my kids, and they was like, Dad, listen, the ones I talked to was like, we're going to love you regardless. Like, my family, my sisters were like, it is what it is. Like, I was like, okay. Like, and I just said, I ain't lying no more.
Yeah. Well, who did you talk to first in your family about
My
this?
mom.
Okay. And what did your
To
mom
this
say?
day, she won't, you ain't gay. You my son. Like, you know how moms is. Like, she still love me though, regardless of what I am. Like,
But she said you ain't gay.
like she don't want to believe it, you know.
She's in denial.
Yeah.
Okay. Which one of your kids did you talk to first?
My junior.
Okay, your son.
Yes.
And what did he say?
I'm gonna love you regardless. That you're still my hero.
Okay. One of your daughters though wasn't very
My
happy.
oldest daughter. She was one happy, but she was like, at the end of the day, you're still my dad. You know, I was upset what I said, and I apologize. Like,
Well, she said that you should kill yourself
yeah.
because you embarrass us.
Yes.
What was that like to hear your oldest daughter?
I hung the phone up and threw it and started crying like my daughter talking to me like this, but I can't get mad because I let her down. I'm my hero and I let her down. Like,
That must have been a very rough.
that's rough, really rough. But to this day, I never talk to all of them together. I just want to do that. That's my dream. Like,
To talk to all your
all
kids?
my kids together, yeah.
Did any of your other kids have a negative reaction outside of your oldest daughter?
My next oldest daughter,
Next oldest daughter.
Yeah.
What did she say?
she was just like, how could you, like, what about us? Did you think about us? I was like, no, at the time, no. I don't think about myself at the time.
Well, at 14 years old, you're having sex with women.
Yeah.
And I've interviewed a lot of people, like Milan Christopher. You know, I've interviewed Sydney Starr, who we'll talk about in a little bit. And a lot of people tell me that they knew from the very beginning that they liked men, that they went through the motions with women and tried to be quote unquote normal, but they never was really interested in women like that. Now, when you were a kid, when you were a teenager, were you interested in men at that point or women?
My oldest brother always had me around women, girls. Like, I was 14 having sex. Like,
Yeah. How old were you when you had sex the first time?
14.
Okay, so the first time you had sex,
I
you
had
got
a baby.
You had a baby.
Yeah.
Ain't that a motherfucker right there? Okay. So you weren't thinking about men at all?
No. Not when I was younger.
At what point did you start thinking about men?
I'm like 18.
Oh, well, that's
I was just curious, like,
bi-curious.
yeah.
So when did you actually do something with a man?
Probably when I was like, what, 21, 22.
Okay, so at 18 you already started thinking about it.
Yeah.
And at 21 you actually acted on it.
Yes.
And you had sex with a guy for the first time.
Yeah. Sexual encounters, yeah.
Sexual encounter with a
Yeah.
guy for the first time. When that happened, were you like, okay, well, I like this better, or I like men and women?
I'm just not like men and women. I was confused, like what's wrong with me? Like, what's wrong with me? Like, I'm human, like, is what it is, like.
So once you started, at 21, because you have kids, like, way after that, right?
Yes.
So at 21, you started having sexual relations with men, but you continue to have sex with women.
Yes.
Okay. And you were getting women pregnant.
Yes.
So, you were having sex with women a lot.
Yeah.
You don't get someone
Yeah.
pregnant every time. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
aside from your first time, but in general, it takes a while to actually get somebody pregnant.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you talk
Like, all
about
my kids are like right behind each other.
yeah.
Like, right. I got two daughters that's both 16.
Okay.
I got a son that's 16. Like,
Yeah.
he be 17, but they right like stair steps.
So you were just continuing to have sex with men and women at that point. pretty much?
Yes.
Did you like one more than the other?
Probably the same.
Really?
I was just curious. Like, I had both worlds, best of both worlds. Like,
Okay. Interesting. So, I mean, I've heard this before, but most people I talk to usually have one preference over another. But you were completely you enjoy yourself the exact same way with a man and a woman.
no, not really.
No?
Not really. No.
What do you enjoy more?
I think I got better head from a man than a woman. I think because a man knows what another man like, and a woman knows what another woman like. So it's like
Right. I mean, a lot of women say that they like head from women more than men and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know when I'm, messing with, giving head to a woman, I know that I don't exactly know what to do, because I don't have a vagina. And,
women know how another woman want to feel. So it's
exactly. Okay, so you had better head from
Yeah.
men than women. But what about just the overall sexual experience? I mean, that's just one part of sex.
women.
Women,
Yeah. Just keeping it real. Yes.
just because a vagina feels better than
Yeah.
an anus,
Yeah.
because it's designed for.
I never had unprotected sex with a man, so I don't know.
You've always used condoms.
Yes.
And why is that?
Because I don't want to catch nothing. And
Okay.
being I was boxing, we take blood tests every 2 months.
Aha.
So it's like,
Okay, so you were worried that something was going to happen.
yes.
Okay. So this whole time you were living a little bit of a double life.
Both worlds, yeah.
Right, because all the women you were having sex with, you didn't tell them that you were bisexual.
No.
Was there a time where you were like, felt close enough to a woman where you were thinking about telling her, where you thought that she
Because
might?
it was like everybody looked at me as this macho boxing dude from Philly. Like he like girls. Like I was like, if I can live with it without saying nothing, hey,
So that was just your own personal thing.
I probably would have took it to my grave.
Okay. But what about some of the guys you dealt with? Did some of them like threaten to expose you, or
I don't really know. Like,
did the guys know who you were?
no, a lot of people didn't know who I was.
Okay. I mean, you weren't, you were
The porn site didn't know who I was.
okay.
They didn't know who I was.
Right. I mean, you were a
They didn't
professional
know
boxer.
They didn't know they had a top fighter
Yeah.
doing a porn.
Yeah. They didn't know what they had on their hands. So you're spending years basically living the secret private life. At any point, did you actually want to have a relationship with a man?
No.
It was just sex.
Yeah.
Okay. So then this whole thing happens. It all comes out.
Yeah.
You talk with your kids. You talk with your mother.
Yeah.
It's all in the media. How, after the dust settled, and you actually came out and said, I'm gay, bisexual, what did you actually say?
I was bi.
You were bisexual.
Yeah.
But you actually came out to the public and said
Yeah.
that. How did you feel at that moment?
I feel free. Like I don't have to hide no more. I can be me. Like you gonna like me or you gonna love me regardless. I'm the same person.
Yeah.
Like,
And at the time that you're doing it, I feel like a lot of men who do come out get celebrated.
and the crazy part is, I done had so many like men inbox me on Facebook thanking me for, cause I was like telling them, let's be open with yourself. Like they gonna hate you, they gonna like you. Like
Yeah.
be you, don't hide. Like be yourself.
But with all the positive comments, there was also the negative comments.
Lots of them.
Yeah.
Lots of them. To the point where people forgot that I was a champion boxer. They forgot that I got hands. Like
Right. Well, when you're behind a computer, you
yeah,
can talk that
you
shit.
a co-killer.
Right.
Phone gangster,
you a keyboard gangster,
Yeah.
Twitter fingers.
Yeah, there you go.
But, had anyone actually approached you
No,
and tried to
only on
talk?
Facebook.
Just
Not
on-
in my face.
Not in your face. Because you're still pretty big.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not in my
I
face.
wouldn't want to do it.
Not in my face.
Right. Has anyone disrespected you at all?
Never. Like my manager, he be like, man, this don't listen to it. Still on Facebook. Like it was days that I was like, we made an agreement. Days that he'd take my phone. No phone. Just stay off the internet.
Yeah.
And I learned I just stop putting stuff up there. Like, stop reading comments.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people go on my website and talk shit about me on my own website. That's just the nature of the internet. You can't get around people talking shit. Well, especially if you're known in whatever way. There is no way around it. You can be Mother Teresa and people would be like, this old ass bitch, like, you know, like, that's just part of
life.
Like,
we're
today.
human. We are human. Like,
how did the gay community really react to you coming
They
out?
embracing me. Like every party I host, they happy I'm there. They loving me. They showing me all utmost respect. Like, nobody calling me fags and nothing like.
Well, you had a coming out party, right? At Rage, I guess.
Yes.
That was in was it West Hollywood?
My first. Well, we out here.
Yeah.
That was my invite. They invited me with open arms. You know.
And who was this? An organization of some sort, or?
It was. I fell out here that there was a lot of parties and stuff.
Okay, these are like gay parties.
They do all types of parties.
All types of parties.
Yeah.
So he invited
Gay,
you out.
single, like.
Okay. They invited you out and said, we want you to have a coming
I
out
want
party.
you to host our party. I host a party.
Okay.
They made it my coming out party, so I'm like.
Okay. How did it feel to go through, you know, having your daughter tell you to kill yourself, to actually coming out and having a coming out
party? It hurted me. Like, it was like, to this day, I still come and go. My manager be like, yo, you all right? I'm like, I'm all right. I'm just thinking. I think a lot. So it's like, then I argue with my baby mom sometimes. Like, my youngest daughter, my mom won't let me speak to her. Like, I'm still hurting, but it is what it is.
Your mom won't let you speak to your
my youngest daughter's mother.
Oh, your youngest daughter's mother.
Won't let me speak to her.
To your daughter.
She's 4, yes.
Man, that's horrible. But you come out here and you have this big party, and is that the first time that you felt like people are embracing you for you?
Yes. Besides my manager embracing me, telling me to be who I am, yes.
Okay. So what's changed after you came out?
I can live my life comfortable. I don't have to, you know, be nobody different for nobody. I could be me. Like.
Okay. Are you hosting a lot of parties these days?
Yeah, I'm on now I'm doing like my 4th posting. On the 15th, I go to Atlanta, ATL.
Okay.
Host a party out there.
Okay.
That's Gay Pride weekend, so you know, I'm gonna live it up. You know, have fun.
Okay.
Let them know how happy I'm feeling for being here. You know.
Mm-hmm. Have any other gay porn companies approached you to film?
I ain't thinking about that no more.
Okay.
I'm on a bigger picture right now.
So if a gay porn company offered you $10,000,
$1 million.
$1 million,
yes,
you're not gonna do it.
No, $1 million I might. You know, not for like. But it gotta be worth it for me and my team. It gotta be worth it.
Okay, but none have actually approached you.
Yeah.
Okay. What was your take on Caitlyn Jenner? Because Caitlyn Jenner, I mean, it's not the exact same situation.
None of that though. He was a billionaire, almost a billionaire.
I don't know about a billionaire, but he's definitely a millionaire, multi-millionaire.
3-time gold medalist. Like, his life was cool. He just wanted to do something else, I guess. I don't know.
But you know what I'm saying is, you have someone who is a professional athlete, who has a lot of children, who decides later in life to come out and
He might have been bored. He might have been bored with his life. I don't know.
Yeah? So you don't relate to Caitlyn at all?
No.
Not at all.
He's, you know, live his life.
Okay.
Wish him the best.
We just decided, like, fuck it, you know? When we was able to see each other face to face on some grown man shit, it was like, you know, I ain't got no beef, I don't have no problem, you ain't got no problem, fuck it. And that's just what it was.
Stripping, getting my own money and leaving. How was I gonna leave if I only made $200 every week? Ain't no way.
So basically stripping saved your life?
Yeah, you know what? It really did though.